Welcome to the bold analysis. William Ruto, leading the Kenya Kwanza regime, must not allow country Kenya to take our political bad manners to international level. The State House, on the other end, cannot purport to support mediation talks led by the former Nigeria President Obasanjo, but on the other side is charging political machineries to run a smear campaign against the mediator. I think for once we need not to wash our dirty linen in public. Ladies and gentlemen, can you listen to this?
Si imegonga. Sasa wakati imegonga mwamba, wamesema sasa tuite watu kutoka nje wakuja wakalishe Ruto na Raila chini waongee. Sasa agenda ya hii mkutano ya Raila na Ruto na huyu mtu wa nje, agenda ni nini? Agenda hapo hiyo, mimi mnaona agenda hapo? Haya, ama namna gani wazee? Kwa mama hapo iko sawa sawa? Tunaambiwa tunaletewa Obasanjo, Olusegun Obasanjo ndiye atakaa chini katikati ya Raila na Ruto waongee. Nigeria kuna piganwa na bunduki, waje sisi hapa tutapigana na mawe. Obasanjo kwao ni bunduki. Halo, Nigeria kuna piganwa na nini? Na bunduki. Na Obasanjo hajasuluhisha hiyo. Sasa anakuja kusuluhisha yetu ya mawe. Akwenda huko. Akwenda huko kwao. Kwanza aenda asuluhishe mambo ya bunduki kwao, ndio wakuje sasa hapa. Sisi shida yetu ni kidogo. Usione kajiti kako kwa macho ya ndugu yako, usahau kimuti iko kwa macho yako. Obasanjo wako na muti kubwa kwa macho. Watu wanauana na bunduki. Watoto wamekuwa abducted huko na hajasuluhisha, alafu tunaambiwa anaweza suluhisha. Shida ya Kenya, shida gani? Hata sura yake peke yake haikai nini? Kwa sababu ni mtu amepiganisha watu jana yake yote. Unanielewa? Walo. Kutoka Viga tumeelewana hivyo. Apata jarudi kwao. Akamaliza vita ya bunduki. Hawaachane na sisi hapa. Tumalize mashida zetu. Sisi tunaomba Rais William Ruto, kama ni kikao ikue kwa TV, Wakenya wenye walimpigia kura wakiona.
Now, that is a member of parliament who recently, I think is someone Nimrod Mbai, if I'm not wrong. Recently, he is the fellow who was captured live on camera, hitting, or rather in altercation with some KPLC staff in Kitengela. And I am telling you very clear that in politics, especially in the new age, in the modern politics, messages, rather information, doesn't just come from nowhere. I can challenge you that if you sample video clips of Kenya Kwanza MPs and leaders who were speaking yesterday on Sunday, you know, on Sunday people always find places to speak, you'll realize that their messages are very concurrent. They're speaking the same language. What this gentleman is saying is the same as what other leaders within the Kenya Kwanza team have been saying. And that is why I insist we cannot take our political bad manners to international level. These MPs have been unleashed in the masses. And you know, I will have to ask this again. Are we going to run, is government largely run with propaganda? Or where do we draw the line as a country? I know we can run smear campaign against Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga. They are our brothers. They are from this country. But someone flying all the way from Nigeria to come here, only to be subjected to immature, shameless, and unpatriotic negative profiling is something that really shows we've stooped a bit too low. Maybe that was harsh. We've gone a bit too low. But this is a target. Immediately the statement came that there was going to be some bipartisan, not bipartisan, there was going to be Obasanjo Commission to spearhead mediation talks between the government side and Azimio la Umoja. We saw the cracks from the word go. There was a statement from Azimio la Umoja, and there was another statement from Kimani Ichung'wah, who are the anchor secretariat of the two camps. And in fact, just from the word go, I said that is a red smoke. If it was starting in a good footage, I'm telling you, it started on a wrong foot. And so, after that, there was another propaganda on the cost of living not on being on table, and it was, it was pushed by the government side for better part of Saturday night. But on Sunday, the target was no longer about Uhuru, was no longer Uhuru or Raila, but the target was the mediator. If William Ruto do not want this mediation, then we should not allow ourselves to wash our dirty linen to the continental level. Now, what is more shocking and confusing here is, I was expecting William Samoei Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, to accord dignity, to accord Obasanjo dignity, respect, and cooperation. Because in the recent past, not even in the recent past, William Ruto himself is leading mediation talks under IGAD in Sudan. So if what they're saying, I want you to imagine what Kenya Kwanza is doing to Obasanjo. If Ruto was to be subjected to that in Sudan, would he feel happy? Or rather, is it cool? Is it in order? We need to get our political mad manners out of the table, at least for once. Because the President Ruto himself has also offered to lead some mediation in Niger, even though the Niger guys, the coup plotters, have refused. They said they don't want. The President is now doing some kaunda, has changed the dress code, and his dress code and the speeches at the continental level is pushing a man who wants to take over as a serious leader in Africa. Then, I think Obasanjo, how he will handle the Obasanjo Commission here will give him some very good credentials. There was information sometime that William Ruto insisted that the talks could not be mediated by a sitting president from any other country. And of course it was a fight of egos, as the way Mtaani says. He declined Suluhu. I listened to Raila saying Suluhu was invited here and they wrote a letter. And let's not be given spins and twists. Suluhu is a president. Suluhu cannot fly to this country without the knowledge of our President William Ruto and the intelligence. He cannot. She cannot. Because how about if something happens to her? So, there are some things that even if you want to kudanganya watu, there is this lie that Suluhu came here and the state didn't know and met Raila. I'm like, what nonsense is that? She was here. Government knew. Ruto knew and refused. Then Raila proposed to Ramaphosa, refused. And of course, Ramaphosa is not his friend. So, he has always been refusing sitting presidents. And that is why I do believe that the Obasanjo came here, air ticket was not paid by Raila Odinga. Truth be told, it was not paid by ODM party. Obasanjo's air ticket and accommodation is being catered for by the government of Republic of Kenya. So if you don't want him, instead of bringing the man here, I've seen some leaders even going to refer to him as that old man. I'm like, surely, even if your president is youthful, we've stooped that low. But I'll explain to you. There are 3 reasons why Ruto is targeting, is profiling this mediator Obasanjo. 3. Number 1 is finding ways of demoralizing him so that he can make an exit. I'm not a prophet of doom. Mark this post, this podcast. I will not be shocked to hear a newspaper headline that Obasanjo sneaks out of the country secretly. In the next few days or few weeks, you will hear newspaper stories and headlines running that Obasanjo leaves the country secretly and has dropped that mediation. I'm telling you, the script is well being implemented and it's very clear. Ruto from the word go never wanted a foreigner to come in this country to mediate, while he himself is offering to mediate in other countries. He never wanted. So what's this that has made, what do you think is it? It was just a matter of doing soft win, accept, I want things to cool. Then after Obasanjo is here, he's finding ways of demoralizing, because wait, when he understands English, and he's also seeing what's happening in social media. If that clip, someone sends that WhatsApp clip to him, what does he do? He will actually realize that, okay, I am here and I am not wanted here. Unwanted. Imagine being in a country, elected leaders or from the ruling coalition, from the ruling party, telling you to pack and go. When you get wind of that, what makes you not to think that they have been sent by the president to send a message to you? Because Obasanjo doesn't know by, but if he realizes that he's an elected member who is serving in the ruling party, he will actually understand very clear that you're not needed here. So the plan is to demoralize him so that when he leaves, you know what will be said? They will pick what Mudavadi is saying, that Kenya is not in a crisis. Mudavadi was saying that the other day in Mombasa, and was saying that I should know that Kenya is not in a crisis. Now, if they are operating from the point of view that Kenya is not in a crisis, then they're simply saying they want to push Obasanjo out. And let me explain a bit of this crisis. What is the crisis we are in? The crisis we are in is that we have a country that is divided and very unpatriotic. And the next crisis we have is that Kenyans have been killed. Kenyans have died protesting about the cost of living. And the crisis we have is that when people might feel aggrieved by what's going on, the voices have also been stifled. When you dare go out and protest, the security agencies will be unleashed on your back with bullets and water cannons and very crude weapons like rungus. That is the crisis we are in. From Salim Davadi, that is the crisis we are in. And so, that is number one. They are targeting the image, the past. They're profiling him to demoralize him to make an exit. Number two, the government side is charging supporters to reject the talks because, as we speak, even within the Azimio, opinions are divided. I listened to Otiende Amolo in Spice FM saying, he was asked, why is it that the rest of Azimio leaders did not attend meeting with Suluhu? And he said, within Azimio, there are people that did not back Suluhu talks. Otiende Amolo said, now, even Azimio supporters, there are those who are still stuck saying that we don't need the talks. Of course, there are those who do not need. My point is this. I am not supporting the talks either. Not because they are bad, but because the intention is not very clear on both sides. While Azimio once said Kenya Kwanza are playing the politics of 2027 with anything that Raila Odinga is doing. No, let me tell you, anything going on Kenya Kwanza is about 2027. It's not about now. Raila is looking at now. No, for them it's about 2027. And so, they're already changing. They want to win the supporters of Azimio, and that's why that narrative, everything is about how can I win support. That is why on Saturday, Ichungwa went and published a letter, a very fake letter, alluding to the fact that there was no cost of living. Then William Ruto on Sunday went to church and said they had not agreed about cost of living. You know why? It was to vanquish Raila, to project Raila as a man who is insensitive to the plight of Kenyans. Lastly, Obasanjo is being branded a Raila puppet, and that the talks is a Raila project. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to repeat, at least for once, let's shelve our political bad manners and respect others from another country. Abuse us here. Abuse political leaders here. But at the international stage, we need to at least show some respect. Thank you.